Seems as if you look hard enough, you can find a how-to list for just about everything. Apparently, that includes a list for terrorists who want to avoid being killed by U.S. drones. CNN's Brian Todd has been looking at this list and how it came to light. What are you finding out, Brian?
Well, Wolf, one tip is to use smoke as cover by burning tires. Al-Qaeda fighters in Africa may need to do some of that soon. Today, President Obama informed Congress that a small U.S. deployment of troops to Niger was complete. CNN has reported that Niger's government has agreed to let U.S. drones operate from its territory, so those drones could put a lot of pressure on Al-Qaeda militants in nearby Mali who are battling French forces. To counter them, this tip sheet has suggestions ranging from the clever to the obvious.
Don't use your wireless device. Hide under thick trees. For Al-Qaeda fighters on the battlefield, words literally to live by. Those are among 22 tips for militants on how to avoid drone strikes. The Associated Press recently discovered a document with those suggestions in a building in Mali, where Islamist militants are battling French forces. The document had also been posted on jihadist websites.
The available evidence suggests that the drone strikes have been psychologically traumatic to Al-Qaeda. It's induced a high degree of paranoia in their ranks. They're fearful that they've been infiltrated by spies.
Osama bin Laden, shortly before his death, had written letters to other Al-Qaeda leaders with similar suggestions, saying their fighters shouldn't meet on roadways and move too much in their cars because many of them got targeted while they were meeting on the road. Bin Laden also suggested, quote, he should move only when the clouds are heavy. As for this other list of suggestions,
one of the tips, if you're in a car and you learn there's a drone after you, leave the vehicle immediately and all the passengers should scatter in different directions. Another one, set up fake gatherings of people using dummies to throw the drones off the trail.
Similar tactics have already been deployed in wartime. The Allies used inflatable tank and truck decoys to fool German aircraft in World War II. Other suggestions from Al-Qaeda? Use whatever technology you can to jam the drone's electronics. Could these tactics really work against drones? We asked Colonel Cedric Leighton, a former top official at the National Security Agency who helped develop American drones.
In general terms, I mean, they're good for people who are in a desert environment who are trying to avoid drones, but there are a lot of limitations to them.
The advantage, Leighton says, is still with the drone operators.
If they can differentiate between what's in a shadow, what's supposed to be in a shadow, and what's not supposed to be in a shadow in natural light conditions, then they have a good chance of being able to flush out the guerrillas.
And despite Al-Qaeda's evasive tactics, drones are still as deadly as ever. The figures are closely held, but experts have put the number of people killed in drone strikes during the war on terror at between about 2,000 and 4,700. Of those, at least 250 have been civilians. Wolf?
Separate from this list, Brian, Al-Qaeda fighters in Mali specifically have already used some other creative tactics to hide from French warplanes. Isn't that right?
That's right. They have placed grass mats and other mats on top of their cars. Sometimes the warplanes can't detect that there's a car under those mats. They've also covered their cars with mud, and some of those tactics could be used to hide from drones as well.
Brian Todd reporting. Thank you.